What if I told you that the most powerful person in the world is now being held back by a bunch of judges, historic preservationists, and a 238-year-old constitution? Let me tell you about the wild legal battle happening right now at the White House, and why this isn't just about a fancy ballroom. Picture this: Donald Trump, the guy who once called the media the enemy of the people, is now facing a roadblock he didn't see coming. His $400 million plan to build a massive ballroom in the East Wing, basically tearing down a historic part of the White House, has hit a wall. And it's not because of budget cuts or design flaws. It's because a federal appeals court just said, nope, you need Congress's permission. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, isn't the president supposed to be able to do whatever he wants? Spoiler alert, no. The Constitution doesn't give the president a free pass to rebuild the White House like it's his personal playground. The court's decision is a reminder that even the most powerful leaders have limits. But here's the kicker: this isn't just about the ballroom. It's about who gets to decide how America's most iconic buildings are used. And if you think this is just a bureaucratic slowdown, you're missing the bigger picture. Let's break this down. The court ruled 2-1 in favor of historic preservationists, who argued that tearing down the East Wing for a ballroom isn't a national security emergency. The judges said the president can't just bypass Congress and use the national security excuse to justify every whim. But here's what's fascinating: the ruling doesn't stop the project entirely. It just says the above groundwork can't proceed without congressional approval. Meanwhile, the White House can still dig below ground for bunkers and other security facilities. That's a loophole so big, it could fit a whole ballroom. And honestly, that's the kind of thing that makes me wonder, what exactly is the real goal here? Is it security, or is it symbolism? Because building a ballroom that fits 999 people feels less like a safety measure and more like a statement about power. Now, let's talk about the judges. This case was handled by 3 judges with very different political backgrounds. 2 of them, Patricia Millett and Bradley Garcia, backed the decision. Millett was nominated by Obama, Garcia by Biden. The third, Naomi Rao, was Trump's pick and dissented. This isn't just a legal battle, it's a political chess game. The fact that 2 judges from opposite ends of the political spectrum agreed on this ruling says something about the strength of the legal arguments. But it also raises a deeper question: how much of this is about the law, and how much is about the people making the decisions? Because when you have a president who's known for his combative style, and a court that includes both liberal and conservative appointees, the stakes go way beyond the ballroom. And then there's the whole national security argument. The government says this project is essential for protecting the president and his family from drones, missiles, and biohazards. But come on, really? I mean, if the White House is worried about biohazards, maybe they should focus on updating the HVAC system instead of building a new ballroom. Or maybe this is just another way to justify spending taxpayer money on something that feels more like a vanity project than a necessity. What makes this really interesting is how the administration is framing this as a security upgrade, but the opposition is calling it a stretch. It's like trying to convince someone that a new swimming pool is a critical infrastructure project. Here's the thing: this isn't just about one ballroom. It's about the balance of power in the U.S. government. If the president can just tear down a historic building and rebuild it without Congress's say-so, what's stopping him from doing the same with other parts of the White House? Or worse, with other federal buildings? This ruling is a reminder that even the most powerful leaders can't just ignore the Constitution. But it also shows how messy the legal process can be. The appeals court gave the administration 2 weeks to appeal to the Supreme Court, which means this fight is far from over. And if you think about it, this is exactly the kind of situation where the courts become the ultimate arbiters of power. The president can't just bulldoze through everything, he has to play by the rules, even if he doesn't like them. So what does this all mean? It means that the White House ballroom might end up being more of a legal landmark than a social one. And it means that the next time you hear about a major government project, you should ask yourself, who's really in charge here? Because in a system designed to prevent tyranny, sometimes the biggest obstacles aren't the enemies of the people, they're the people who made sure the system actually works.